You're listening to the Cool Audio Podcast, your escape into the world of stories, sounds, and imagination. Whether you're driving, chilling at home, or just need a moment to unplug, we've got a story just for you. So sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. Zuri drove to the arranged location. She waited in line for a while and got a two-seater by the window. Then, she picked up her phone and texted Case. "I'm here. I got lucky and got a window seat." After sending it, she waited for a while with no reply. "Miss, would you like to order?" The server enthusiastically greeted her. "Not yet. I'm waiting for my friend to arrive." The garnishes in river snail rice noodles were very specific. Some people don't like the sour bamboo shoots, and some people don't like the peanuts. So, Zuri didn't dare to order. She wanted to wait until Case arrived. However, she waited for half an hour. The traffic shouldn't be bad at this hour. He didn't even need 20 minutes to get here from his workplace. It wasn't normal for him to be half an hour late. Thinking, Zuri sent another text. "Big brother Case, are you here yet?" Still, no reply. She clenched her teeth and waited for 10 more minutes. "Miss, are you still ordering? We're closing at 9:30, the waiter politely reminded her. Zuri checked her watch, and it was almost closing time. However, Case was still not here. "Please give me a moment. I am going to call my friend." Zuri still didn't want to give up and decided to call Case. She was worried if he had gotten into a car accident or something. Anyways, due to her worrying, she made up a bunch of scenarios in her head. After a few rings, somebody picked up. "Big brother Case, where are you?" "Sorry, this is President Chase's assistant speaking." "Huh? Did something happen to him?" Zuri became increasingly worried once she heard that it was Case's assistant. "President Chase has to take care of urgent affairs at the moment. Can I have your name? He'll be with you once he is done." That's fine. Let him work." Zuri's heart felt empty. After hanging up, she sat there for a few more minutes, spaced out. "Miss, would you still like to order?" There were only a few people left in the restaurant. She was sitting alone by the window, appearing aloof. "Can I get one bowl with everything? Extra chili oil, thanks." "Okay, please give us a moment." After Zuri ordered, she still felt down. What urgent affair made Case leave his phone with his assistant without notifying her? He shouldn't be someone who skips a meeting without a heads up for work. At that moment, she got a message from her best friend in Singapore. "Zuri, are you there?" "Yes, what's up?" Zuri replied immediately. It seemed like something was up, since she was messaging her so late at night. "Something happened over here. It's that kid you asked me to help." "What happened to her?" Zuri immediately thought about Brenny's daughter. "She scratched a girl's face using the tip of a pencil at school today." "What?" Zuri was shook. Singapore is known for their strict laws. Even if she was underage, such a crime carried a heavy punishment. "How? What exactly happened?" Zuri was in a scramble. "I'm not sure about the details. Apparently, she hurt somebody at school and was sent to the police station where she's currently being detained. The station and the school should have notified her guardian already. Zuri, if I remember correctly, her legal guardian is Case, right?" After her friend said that, Zuri immediately understood why Case stood her up tonight. "Yes," Zuri said through gritted teeth. "He should be in Singapore shortly to deal with this. Apparently, the injured child comes from a wealthy family. It might be a tough one to deal with." Zuri remained silent. "Zuri, are you going to come with him?" "No, that's his business. It's unrelated to me," Zuri coldly replied, and didn't say anything else. At that moment, a steaming bowl of river snail rice noodles was served. She numbly took in small bites using chopsticks. Case still really cared about that child. Was it because he still had feelings for Brenny? Or she wasn't kind enough? Zuri didn't feel sympathy for Tiani. She felt that she wasn't important in Case's heart. Even if he had affairs to take care of, couldn't he give her one call? She wouldn't have waited here so stupidly then. "A few years later, and I am still losing to Brenny." Zuri mocked herself and began tearing up uncontrollably. She wiped her face in a frenzy. "Miss, are you okay?" The server felt pity when he saw the guest crying while eating. "I'm fine, it's just too spicy. Your chili is really spicy." Zuri squeezed out a smile and finished the bowl of rice noodles while tears streamed down her face. On the other hand, Case used his connections to apply for a visa. He booked flight tickets overnight to the capital, where there was a connecting flight to Singapore. He was in such a hurry and didn't have time to tell anyone. He called his family and told his dad to take care of some company affairs. He passed the security check and was waiting to board when his stomach growled. That was when he remembered that he hadn't eaten yet. He finally remembered his date with Zuri. In a panic, he called Zuri, but her phone was off. She knew that she was angry, so he wrote a message and sent it. Zuri, I'm sorry. Tiani hurt a kid and is being detained at the police station. I can't sit here and watch. She's only a child. I was busy trying to get my visa and plane tickets. I couldn't find the time to tell you. I am really sorry. When I am back, I will make it up to you. After sending, Case turned off his phone and boarded the flight. When Zuri saw the message, it was already the next morning. She did turn off her phone in a fit of anger. However, the pent-up rage diffused when she saw the message. Her heart turned soft when she saw that he would make it up to her. She dropped the matter because of the love she had for him. At lunchtime, inside a hot pot restaurant, Rory was really happy when she went to the meeting, since Lin Hang asked her out. Hello, I'm here. Rory was wearing an oversized yellow sweater. It looked thrifted, but was very stylish. She was wearing shorts with that. Missy, look at the time of the year. It's almost winter and you're not wearing pants, one of Lin Hang's friends joked. I'm Wonder Woman. I'm not afraid of the cold. Rory sat next to Lin Hang with a smile on her face. He looked at her and wanted to say something, but he couldn't say it. One of his friends understood what he wanted and asked, Rory, where's Melody? She's at the company. Didn't we tell you to bring her along? She's busy. Other than sleeping and eating, she's practicing at the dance studio. Didn't I tell you that she joined a reality TV show? It's going to start streaming soon, and she's in a rush. No matter how busy she is, she can come out for food. What do you know about it? Melody is taking it seriously. She's practicing like a madman. President Cooper gave her the opportunity, and she doesn't want to get eliminated in the very first round. Anyways, you won't understand. Let's eat. I'm starving. Lin Hang wanted to see Melody, but she would never go out with him alone. So he wanted Rory to bring her along, but even Rory couldn't move her. Melody was treating the show very seriously. She had to do her job regardless of fame. Melody, take a break for now. You should eat. No, it's okay. It's busy now anyways. It's a waste of time to line up and eat. You guys should go. I can handle it. Melody rejected her instructor's invitation to eat together. After the instructors left, she danced for 20 more minutes and sat down at the corner while sweating. She hung her sweaty towel on her shoulder. She opened the thermos she brought this morning. It contained 2 spring rolls from breakfast, some picked vegetables, corn, and a piece of sweet potato. She ate that with a bottle of water. Justin and Anne were planning on eating, but not at the cafeteria. They wanted to go out to eat. In the elevator, they heard somebody discussing Melody and what she was eating. That made Justin frown. Get a few takeout boxes from the cafeteria and bring it to the dance studio, Justin instructed Anne. President Cooper, what do you want? Whatever. Are we not going out for barbecue? Anne was confused. I want cafeteria food. Anne was speechless. Get going now. Okay. And knew that what the others said made Justin feel bad. Melody was going all out. She wanted to save time by not eating and using that time to practice more. This was what Justin saw when he entered the dance studio. Melody leaned against the wall in exhaustion, eating a small spring roll while drinking water. Her lunchbox only contained pickled vegetables, corn, and sweet potato. Is Imperial Star an animal shelter? That looks worse than pig feed. Are you trying to insult me? Justin had his hand in his pocket while he looked at Melody. President Cooper. Melody was very polite towards Justin. She didn't dare to banter with him anymore. After the car accident, the relationship between the two turned strange. Especially a few days ago, at an executive meeting, Justin personally requested for Melody to be on a reality TV show. There were rumors going around that she was Justin's new interest. The reality was that ever since she ate at Justin's house one night after her discharge from the hospital, they did not interact again. Why are you being so serious? Sit. Justin seemed comfortable and motioned for Melody to sit. Look at you. Is your brain still working? You need a lot of nutrition, given how much you exercise every day. You shouldn't be eating this. Justin pointed at her thermos and gave her a stern lecture. What do you mean? Corn and sweet potato are delicious. Melody found it normal. It's fine for breakfast, not lunch. Look at the beggars. They eat KFC for lunch. What about you? What Justin said made Melody laugh. How could you laugh? I am actually lazy and don't want to move. Even though the food is free, I just wanted to be alone after everybody left to work on what I learned in the morning. If you don't want to move, you can ask the cafeteria to deliver it for you. Melody remained silent for a second and replied, President Cooper, only you have that privilege. I'm just a mere trainee. I can't ask the cafeteria to deliver. That's crazy. It's okay. You get a special pass. You're at a special circumstance, so you can enjoy special treatment. Really? Melody was happily surprised. I'll get Ann to arrange it with the kitchen. President Cooper, are you so good to me because... Melody lowered her head and couldn't finish her sentence. Don't misunderstand. I'm not in love with you, nor do I have any romantic feelings towards you. Justin was quick to explain. I know, are you so good to me because you feel you owe me from the car accident? The accident was in the past. You weren't left with disabilities anyways, Justin laughed. Before Melody could finish, Anne came in with a large bag in hand. How many people are you trying to feed? Justin looked at the takeout boxes, flabbergasted. I told the kitchen that Justin wanted takeout, and they... Anne was sweating profusely, trying to carry the large bag with both hands. Okay, let's not skip the talk and eat. I'm hungry. After speaking, Justin took the boxes from Anne and laid them out on the floor. The three surrounded the numerous boxes and ate cross-legged on the floor. Melody had no care for her image. She wolfed down the delicious food without a care in the world. She picked up a large piece of rib and chewed on it. Can you at least wear a glove? Justin looked at her and reminded her. That's too much work. Shh. Let's all eat without disturbing or looking at each other. Anne and Justin were silent. You really have a vicious eating face. Justin saw a certain somebody say that they were fine with eating anything, but once she saw delicious food, her image was out of the window. The kitchen almost made an entire feast, hearing that it was requested by President Cooper himself. There were 12 dishes of both meat and vegetables, as well as soup. It was perfect. And, Go back to the cafeteria later. You want more food, President? Justin sweated. No, tell the cafe to deliver Melody's food here. She doesn't have time to go eat. Okay. Anne looked at Justin and back at Melody, his gaze implying that something was going on between the two. President Cooper, I don't eat a lot. A side and a soup is good enough. Melody felt a little embarrassed about the food delivery and made a request. That's too little. Let's get 2 meats and 1 vegetable, soup and fruits. That's a balanced diet, Justin pondered. President Cooper, you're so good to Miss Melody. And couldn't hold back and let that slip out in front of Melody and Justin. Anne's word made the air still for a while. Then, Justin turned around and gave him a playful punch. Do you still want to work for me with that amount of nonsense coming from your mouth? Yes, I want to. Please don't fire me, Anne chuckled. Come, try this. It's delicious. Melody changed the topic and made up something about the food. The news of the three's lunch at the dance studio immediately spread throughout the company. That wasn't the biggest bombshell. The biggest came from the cafeteria. Melody, as a trainee without any fame or influence, had the ability to make the cafeteria deliver food to her every day. Nobody else but Justin had that ability. So, gossip started to spread. It was better at the acting department, after all. They knew what Melody was like. As for the other departments, when Melody went to get water from the break room, the women inside didn't know that she was there. They had the following conversation. Melody really has her ways. Our President Cooper abstained himself for Dr. Green but broke it for her. Don't spread rumors. I think they're not together yet. Melody looks pretty down to earth. She's a lot better than Yaru, okay? Dogs that bite don't bark. Yaru wouldn't survive 2 episodes in an ancient palace drama. Melody has her ways. She doesn't let anything show. Justin is good to her unconditionally. It's impossible that they haven't slept together yet. Justin treats her better than how he treats people normal. That's good. That means she's gonna blow up in fame soon. Maybe she's gonna outshine Gianna in her years. Should we try to suck up to her? Maybe we can get food off her. I heard that the food that the cafeteria delivers to her was specifically requested. She's being treated like an empress. I'm so jealous. You get treated so differently when you sleep with the boss. Women always love to gossip. Melody stood at the door with her cup in hand. She felt incredibly complicated emotions. Normally, she would stomp in and have a fight with the gossipers. However, now, she was surprisingly quiet. That was because she knew that this was only a small corner of the iceberg. What Justin did for her was enough to make her take the blame. However, she didn't feel humiliated at all. She actually felt a little glad. Not everybody could have a scandal with Justin. Like every woman who ever had a crush on Justin, she couldn't suppress the excitement in her heart. However, she wouldn't go confess or start drama. She wouldn't scheme to get in his bed. Right now, she only hoped to keep that tiny secret in her heart. She wouldn't say it, nor would she let Justin or anybody else know. At the city bureau. When Noah was leaving from work, he called Octavia. Let's go, Octavia. I'll fulfill my promise and treat you to dinner. Ah? So soon? Octavia was surprised by the attention. What? Are you busy today? No, it's fine. Today is a good day. Thank you, Director Ace. Octavia would never let the opportunity slip and immediately grabbed her jacket. The two were straight-edged, so nobody thought much about it when they left together. They thought the director was awarding the budding cop. Octavia happily got into Noah's car. It was the first time she sat in Noah's Land Rover, the same one his wife took from him a while ago. Any man would look dominant and powerful driving the black Land Rover. She sat on the passenger seat and fantasized about sitting here every day if she got with Noah. Octavia, sit in the back. I like sitting in the front. That way I can talk to you. Octavia clearly didn't seem pleased. Who didn't want to sit in the shotgun seat? I need to pick up my son from kindergarten. That's his seat. Pick up your son. Octavia was immediately displeased. She thought that they were eating alone. However, she didn't ask. She thought that Sarah might be working overtime and didn't have the time to pick up her son. Even though she didn't want to, she sat in the back. Director Ace, aren't kids not allowed to sit in the front? Won't the traffic police write you up? Octavia didn't want to settle. She thought that he was disobeying the traffic laws. All the traffic cops in the city recognize my car. Nobody cares. I'm not running reds or parking illegally anyways. Smiling, Noah started the car. Octavia stopped speaking. Actually, Ethan never sat in front. The truth is, if Sarah saw Octavia sitting in the passenger seat from the dash cam, she would flip the house upside down. So, Director Ace used his wits and made Ethan take the blame. Octavia sat in the back, and it became less convenient to talk to Noah. Before she could find something to talk about, Noah turned on the music and played a heavy metal rock song. He couldn't hear whatever Octavia said anyways. Seeing that, Octavia didn't say anything. She sat in the back and played on her phone. When he arrived at the kindergarten, Ethan came out early, escorted by a teacher. However, there was another child beside him. It was none other than Little Bean. Eh? Why's my daughter-in-law here? Noah smiled. I'm bringing her home for dinner. What? Do you not want her there? Ethan said in a self-justified tone. He thought, if it wasn't to deal with his mistress, he wouldn't have to lay down his pride and promise Little Bean 3 black swan cakes and 10 bowls of Haagen-Dazs. Hi, Uncle Ace. Little Bean was surprisingly polite. Let's go, Little Bean. Come to Uncle Ace's house for dinner, but what about your sister? Dad, what are you thinking? Pudding isn't for me to invite. Ethan rolled his eyes. No, I mean to invite her out for dinner. My sister already has plans, Little Bean explained. Okay, get in the car. It's cold outside. Seeing the 2 children made Octavia burst with joy. Wow, this must be your son. Director Ace, he's so handsome, just like you. Octavia looked at Ethan and complimented. Madam, there must be something wrong with your eyes. I'm clearly more like my mom. Sons tend to resemble their mothers, don't you know? Ethan was already giving Octavia a hard time. Octavia felt awkward. Did she just get lectured by a child? What came next was even better and out of her expectations. Little Bean immediately squeezed Ethan. "Ethan, how can you speak to her so impolitely?" Ethan looked at Little Bean in confusion. "She's so young, but her vision is already failing. Poor her. We need to pity her. My mommy says that we need to help disabled people." Ethan laughed. Octavia was silent. Noah looked awkward. "Ahem, Octavia. Don't mind my daughter-in-law. She likes to joke around." Octavia's face filled with a smile. "Director Ace, I don't mind." At that moment, she had to hold it back and show her tolerant side. She needed to keep pretending to be a graceful goddess. However, when they were trying to get onto the car, a problem arose. The two children couldn't both sit in the passenger seat. So, Octavia caught the opportunity and said, "Director Ace, I think it's better if they sit in the back. It would be cramped if they sit in the front." Noah realized that problem too, because he didn't expect Little Bean to be here. When she was wondering what to do, Little Bean innocently said, "Ethan, sit in the passenger seat. I want to sit in the back with the pretty madam. I like pretty girls." "Okay, you two sit in the back." Ethan wanted to give her a thumbs up for her brilliance. Who said that without pudding, Little Bean had no fighting abilities? Her stats were maxed out. "Ah, you sure?" Octavia clearly didn't seem willing. "Auntie, do you dislike me? Or do you want to be close to my Uncle Ace?" Little Bean's words were killer. Octavia's face immediately turned red. "No, why would I? You're thinking too much. Come sit in the back with me." Just like that, Octavia unwillingly sat in the back with Little Bean. There was lots of space in the back of the Land Rover, enough room to let Little Bean move around. "Ethan, do you want milk?" Little Bean opened her backpack. It was filled with food her grandma gave her this morning. Even though Chloe strictly forbade it, their grandma still spoiled them and put delicious food in their backpacks. Pudding was indifferent about it. Little Bean was beyond ecstatic. Thinking that she was going to Ethan's house, she didn't finish all the food and saved some for Ethan. Okay. Ethan said something to Little Bean and the two children got along. "Director Ace, is this Dr. Green and President Dawson's daughter?" Octavia did her prep work and knew about Noah's friend circle. Only the little princess of the Dawson family could get along this well with the Ace family. Yes, while driving, Noah answered. "So, is this the older sister or younger sister?" Octavia tried to make conversation. "Auntie, if you wanted to know, you could just ask me. Uncle Ace is driving. It's dangerous to distract him like that. You really don't value your life, do you?" Octavia remained silent. "Yes, Auntie Octavia. Don't talk to my dad and let him drive." Ethan followed Little Bean's words. Okay. Auntie knows." Octavia wasn't happy, but she pretended to enjoy herself. Little Bean took out 2 bottles of yogurt. She gave one to Ethan, then she opened her own and took a big gulp. At that moment, Noah's car took a sharp turn. The greatest moment occurred. Little Bean threw up her huge gulp of yogurt perfectly onto Octavia's carefully prepared dress. It even got onto her black leather jacket. It was all over her. It looked rather epic. Octavia looked at the yogurt on her. In an instant, her face turned white. She swore to God that if it wasn't for Noah, she would have given the kid hell. "Madam, I'm sorry. I got carsick. Maybe Uncle Ace's turn was too sharp. I couldn't hold it in." Little Bean looked at Octavia with a poor, innocent face. The amazing acting was thanks to her sister. Little Bean once asked Pudding while she was bored, "Sis, what's the best way to take care of schemers?" "You need to scheme more than her. Beat her at her own game," Pudding concluded. So, Little Bean followed every bit of her sister's advice today. Octavia was exploding from anger, but she had to put on a gentle face. "It's okay. It's not your fault. You didn't mean to." Octavia took out wet wipes from her bag and tried to wipe off the yogurt. God knows how expensive her dress was. She bought it after saving up for a few months, and it was ruined by the damn kid's barf. "Little Bean, you're not careful enough. It's a good thing that Aunt Octavia is understanding and doesn't blame you. You need to be careful." Ethan was dying of laughter on the inside, but he had to say that to mend the situation. Noah almost laughed out loud. Little Bean was definitely Chloe and Jack's daughter. Her thoughts were beyond intricate. With Octavia's wits, it was difficult for her to deal with Little Bean. It was a good thing that Pudding wasn't here, otherwise. Octavia thought that Noah was going to drop off the kids, and they would go out for dinner together. However, when the car was parked below Noah's building, she was a little confused. "Director Ace, we're gonna have dinner. Sarah already prepared food. She's just waiting for us." "We're eating at your place?" Octavia's face was filled with confusion. I rarely eat out anyways, and home-cooked food is better. Once she heard that I was treating you to dinner, my wife was eager to meet you, since she heard about your heroic deeds. It's a great chance. She even came home early to prepare." Wouldn't that bother your wife?" Unlike the other co-workers, Octavia refused to call Sarah by her name, referring to her as your wife to Noah's face. "No way. My Sarah can't wait for such an opportunity." Just like that, Octavia followed Noah upstairs with a displeased heart. On the way there, she was pondering something. Did Noah unintentionally invite her to his house for dinner, or was it on purpose? Could he know what Octavia wanted and wanted to teach her a lesson? Was he and his wife fighting on the same front? As Octavia thought about it, she became increasingly agitated and restless. She hated Sarah. So as soon as she walked into the Ace residence, she put on a false mask and began acting. "My apologies. I didn't know that I'd be coming to your place and didn't bring anything." Smiling, Octavia said to Sarah. Don't be so polite. I'm indifferent. After all, it's not easy being a little cop, running around for a teeny bit of salary. It's not even enough to spend. My job is so much better, it lets me buy whatever I want, isn't that right?" Sarah's smile hid daggers. "Auntie Sarah." Little Bean ran up to her and jumped into Sarah's embrace. "Little Bean, why are you here?" Sarah stopped paying attention to Octavia and picked up Little Bean. "Let's go eat, Octavia." Noah put a new pair of slippers on the ground. After Octavia changed, she followed Noah into the dining room. One look made her face change. "Sarah, is this takeout?" There was a hint of mockery in Octavia's smile. Seeing that the table was filled with boxes from a restaurant, it was evidently taken out. Was it really appropriate to order takeout to treat a guest? "Yeah, the takeout from this restaurant is said to be delicious. Let's try it," Sarah answered with a smile. "When Chief Ace told me that we'd eat at home, I thought, you'd cook." Octavia continued to play coy and beamed at Sarah. "I guess my old Ace didn't tell you that I'm a terrible cook. I can't treat my guests with those horrible dishes. After all, you've done a deed of merit for the Bureau." "You flatter me. I just bumped into the thief." They chatted for a while and then sat down at the dinner table. To be honest, Octavia had no appetite. She had thought she'd eat with Noah alone, but her plan had been totally disrupted, ruining her appetite. But in front of Chief Ace, she had to pick up the chopsticks and nibble on the food. "Auntie Octavia, come on and eat more." Ethan pretended to be hospitable. "Okay." "Octavia, don't be shy. I ordered lots of dishes," Sarah said with a smile. "Sister Sarah, the takeout food is usually cooked with low-quality oil. I hope you won't order takeout in the future. I'm an adult and have no problem with it, but Ethan is still young and the food is unhealthy for him. As a mother, you must consider your son's health, right?" Octavia was trying to tell Noah that Sarah wasn't a good mother, but Sarah was well prepared to deal with this young homewrecker. She answered immediately. "Octavia, don't worry. You're our guest, and I'm afraid you're not used to my cooking, which is why we ordered takeout. Usually I cook for my husband and son. My cooking skill is not as delicious, but they are used to it, so it's fine." Octavia understood that they usually cooked at home and only ordered takeout for her. What kind of hosts were these people? At this moment, Little Bean moved to sit next to Octavia. "Auntie, I want to sit next to you. You're pretty, and I like you." "Oh, don't you want to play with Ethan? It's better for you to sit with him." Octavia had learned her lesson and didn't want to have anything to do with this little girl. But of course, Little Bean wouldn't listen to her. "Ethan is fine with me sitting here. I see him often, but I rarely see you. So I must cherish this rare opportunity." She had a faint smile on her face when she said the word opportunity. Octavia had a feeling that this girl was full of pranks. Sure enough, Little Bean somehow had a bottle of seafood soy sauce in her hand, and before Octavia could react, she poured some soy sauce into Octavia's bowl. Auntie, I tell you a secret. Rice with soy sauce is super delicious. Auntie, I promise you'll like it. I tried it myself. Come on and try it, Ethan urged. The fact is, I don't like soy sauce. This soy sauce is different. Try it. Little Bean picked up the bowl and lifted it to Octavia's lips. Octavia glanced at Noah, asking for help silently. My daughter-in-law never lies. Maybe it's truly good. Try it. Octavia, don't be shy. To her surprise, Noah spoke for Little Bean. Octavia was totally defeated. Under everyone's eyes, she took a mouthful of the rice soaked in soy sauce. Her stomach started to turn, and she almost threw up. Auntie, are you okay? Come and have some water. Little Bean handed a bottle to her. Feeling too queasy to examine the bottle, Octavia took it and gulped down a big mouthful of the liquid from it. Then she ran to the washroom and vomited. In the dining room, Sarah glanced at Little Bean. My daughter-in-law, what did you give her? Why did she have such a huge reaction? It's durian-flavored juice, Ethan. My Little Bean is very resourceful. With you here, we don't need Auntie Chloe to help us. Honey, seeing how we torture her, do you feel hurt inside? Sarah glanced at Noah sitting next to her with a smirk. Miss Sarah, don't trap me. I won't enter it. Why should I feel hurt for her? She's nothing to me. Then Octavia came out of the washroom with a pale face. Her expression was very dark. Octavia, are you okay? Sarah asked. Sister Sarah, I'm fine. I don't quite like the smell of durian. It's stinky. I'm sorry that I embarrassed myself. In such a situation, she still could talk to Sarah without losing her temper. She was indeed a patient woman. Chloe was right. This woman wasn't easy to deal with. It's fine. We're glad you're okay. Come on and eat some more. No, I can't. My stomach is queasy. Chief Ace, I've got to go. So soon? You haven't eaten yet. I haven't had an appetite lately. You guys go on with your meal. Octavia thought she'd be butchered if she stayed, so she decided to leave as quick as possible. I'll walk you out. Sarah stood up immediately. Good. Honey, you walk Octavia out. I'll take care of the kids while they eat. Noah agreed. Then Sarah led Octavia out of the building. They didn't speak on their way out, and the atmosphere was quite tense. Octavia stopped as they came to the entrance of the complex. Sister Sarah, you're very good. Truly. Are you complimenting me or insulting me? Sarah stared her in the eye. Of course I complimented you. No. Compared with you, I'm not good. If I was, I'd not be targeted by evil people. Don't you think so? Octavia understood her meaning, but she wasn't angry. Instead, she smiled. Sister Sarah, I've always thought that a person must know their limitations. Of course, Sarah nodded. Chief Ace is an excellent man. If he had a better wife, he'd have a brighter future. What do you mean? Sarah's face fell. It's just my opinion. Sister Sarah, please don't take it to heart. I'm a straightforward person. BS. Straightforward isn't mean. My old Ace is kind and tries not to make you feel bad, but you're shameless. As a graduate from a well-known university, you're pretty and have a good job, but you are full of schemes and try to steal another woman's husband. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Your parents work hard in the rice noodle shop to support you. It's not easy for them. But at their old age, their reputation is ruined because of you. Sister Sarah, you can't slander me. You don't have any evidence to support your accusation. Slander? You know it better than anyone. Octavia, I warn you, stop your attempts to seduce my old Ace, or I'll make you regret it. Sister Sarah, do you know that everyone loves a good thing? If not me, some other women will do it. So don't be so tense with me. You look as ugly as a shrew in the market when you're cursed. I don't understand why a guy as excellent as Chief Ace would put up with sleeping with a woman like you. Octavia insulted Sarah without using a cursing word, but Sarah felt as if she was stabbed in the heart. Sarah was surprised that Octavia would reveal her true face so soon. Chloe was an excellent judge of people's personalities. This woman was indeed a hypocrite. Sarah was astonished to hear these mocking words, saying that Noah was too good for her. All you said means nothing to me. I'll just tell you one fact. I, Sarah, no matter how unworthy in your eyes, am Noah's legal wife and his beloved woman. But you, no matter how excellent you are just a homewrecker who craves for another woman's husband, a shameless other woman. Oh no, the truth is that my old ace won't even spare a glance at you, so you put on a drama by yourself. All your efforts are in vain and you are just a clown in our eyes. You're young, but you're full of schemes. I truly feel sad for your parents. If my daughter was like you, I'd strangle her to death. After all, keeping her alive would waste the air. The truth is, you're not even the other woman. Tell me, what do you think you are? Sarah roasted her with a long lecture. Octavia's face turned darker. You just wait and see. Keep an eye on your husband. One day he might end up in my bed. I'm not worried. My husband would prefer a sex doll over you. After all, you are disgusting, and a sex doll isn't. Not able to continue the verbal battle with Sarah, she turned and left in fury. Sarah walked back home with light steps and good spirits. She had finally got a victory and pummeled that shameless homewrecker. She took out her cell phone and chatted with Chloe through voice call. Chloe, I won. Ha! I got the first victory. Congratulations, but be careful. That woman is tough. Don't worry. I'll be on guard. By the way, I must extend a special thanks to my daughter-in-law. She was super helpful. What tricks did my little bean play? Chloe had a bad feeling. No, she was super good. Thank you for giving birth to such a good daughter-in-law for me. Fine, I've got to return for supper now. When Sarah returned, she saw the previous food had been replaced by the food she had prepared earlier. Hot pot with fresh beef slices, mutton slices, and lots of vegetables, noodles and sweet potato slices. Mom, it would be a waste to dump the takeout food in the garbage. I think we can deliver it to the homeless guy who stays at the ATM machine near the entrance of our complex. What do you think? Ethan suggested. Good idea, son. You're a kind-hearted boy. Noah was surprised by Ethan's thoughtfulness. My mom always says we have to do our best to take care of ourselves. After that, if we have the ability, we can help others. Honey, I'm surprised to know that you had this kind side to you, Noah teased Sarah. Shut up. Let's eat the hot pot. Now that our enemy is gone, we can finally settle down and enjoy the meal. Daughter-in-law, come and let your mother-in-law kiss you. Sarah picked up Little Bean and pecked her on the cheek. Aunt Sarah, I prepared lots of methods to deal with her, but that scumbag is lame. She fled after only a few rounds. Little Bean was smug. It's fine. When my dad gets another homewrecker, I'll ask you to come and help me again. Hearing Ethan's words, Noah almost wept. Son, don't trash-talk your dad. Sarah laughed so hard that she had tears in her eyes. Ethan, are you still our son or not? Do you want a beating? They enjoyed the hot pot cheerfully. Undoubtedly, Noah would always stand by his wife and son. Now that his daughter-in-law joined their camp, the high-level homewrecker was no match for them, no matter how scheming she was. Chloe and Jack didn't enter the fray because they trusted Sarah could handle it. In South Hill Manor, Chloe knocked on the door of the study and entered with a cup of hot coffee. Jack was busy working in the study room. Honey, have some coffee. I told you not to do this. I'm fine. It's not like I'll go into labor at any moment. I'm not that fragile. Chloe placed the coffee on his desk and sat down on the chair beside him. Little Bean won't come home tonight? Jack asked. No, your daughter is a traitor. She's only a little over 3 and can't wait to live in her future husband's home. Pudding is home? Yeah. Victoria and her family often go back to the old house for supper. Good. At least I have one daughter home. Jack sounded resigned. It's okay. That's what we get for having daughters. When they are grown up, they'll move to their husbands' homes. How sad. Chloe threw her arms around Jack's neck and lamented. As I said, we're the richest family, so we can get our sons-in-law to marry into our family. You must ask your son first. Chloe pointed at her belly. We have enough money for them to share. The 3 of them will have more money than they can spend in their lives. In the past years, Jack had made lots of money in business. Including the income from his second uncle's business in the States, GK was almost as rich as a small country. Despite his young age, Jack had been on the list of national magnates for years. Honey, I found out something but haven't told Sarah yet. What is it? Do you remember the girl named Octavia who did a deed of merit and used this excuse to get Noah to have a meal with her? Yeah, Jack nodded. Do you know how she achieved the merit? I heard she saved someone and got wounded for it. Do you know what I found out? Chloe asked mysteriously. Do you mean she directed the whole thing to get the merit and win the chance to get close to old Ace? Jack thought quickly and came up with the answer quickly. Wow, you're indeed my man, and got the answer so quickly. I just suspected a woman like her wouldn't be so kind as to help others in distress. So I had someone investigate it, and the result is quite unexpected. That kidnapper is Octavia's childhood friend. He later joined a gang and is a good-for-nothing. A while ago, his father was hospitalized and needed to get a kidney transplant. His family spent lots of money on it. Coincidentally, 1 week before Octavia's heroic deed, the guy got $50,000 in his bank account. $50,000? Jack frowned when he heard this number. It's not big for you, but quite big for Octavia. She might have saved it for years, but she's smart and didn't transfer the money directly to the suspect. After all, she graduated from the public security university and has the sense to protect herself. I found she took $50,000 cash out from a bank 1 week ago and lost it all on a slot machine in an arcade hall near her home. Jack immediately guessed the rest and said, Does the arcade hall belong to the gangster? It doesn't belong to him, but he is related to it. The gangster has a girlfriend who's also in the gang. The arcade hall belongs to that woman. I think Violet lost the money to the arcade hall and to the gangster indirectly. It's a bad deal for the gangster. Is it worthwhile to be in prison for years just for $50,000? I felt puzzled too at first. After some investigation, I found the gangster has been secretly in love with Octavia ever since they were in elementary school. Sudden understanding dawned on Jack. That makes sense. If it's true, the woman is a horrible person. Jack suddenly felt the thing wasn't as simple as it looked. I was shocked too. She's young but full of schemes. I'll talk to old Ace and move the woman from his side as soon as possible. Mr. Dawson was proud, but he never underestimated his enemies. Hearing the results of the investigation from Chloe, he knew it wasn't a good idea for such a woman to stay near Noah. Chloe knew Noah always followed Jack's advice. After talking for a while, Chloe felt sleepy and went back to their bedroom. Half an hour later, Jack finished the last files and walked back to their bedroom. When he passed Pudding's room, he saw light under the door. He checked his watch and found it was 10:30, but Pudding was still awake. He stopped his steps with a frown and knocked on the door. Come in. Daddy? With her hair loose around her shoulders, Pudding sat in the chair dressed in a cotton sleeping gown. On the desk before her was a laptop. Baby, why are you still not in bed? In fact, Jack sometimes cared more for his elder daughter. The baby crying the loudest gets the most attention. Little Bean loved to play cute and have fun, so she got extra attention from her family. In contrast, Pudding got less attention because she was always thoughtful, steady, and quiet. In fact, her personality was similar to Jack's, since Chloe was quite vivacious and witty. Among all the kids, Pudding was the most low-key, the coolest, and the proudest one. I'm working on something. Jack glanced at the content on her notebook and was surprised. You know all these? Auntie taught me a little, Pudding answered honestly. Baby, you're still young. It's not safe to be a hacker so young. Daddy, don't worry. The stuff I do is child's play. I noticed you're selling shares of the subsidiary company, and some companies are buying them in large quantities. Do you know the backgrounds of those companies? Jack usually didn't intervene in his daughter's business, but he was ready to step up and protect her if he finds her in danger. I did some research. Brenny is behind it. The legal representatives of those companies all have something to do with Brenny. As she said the words, her eyes were calm as if everything was under her control. You found them out. You're very good, Pudding. Jack touched her head dotingly. Daddy, trust me. Now that I chose to take this road, I'll do my best, and I'll protect myself during the process. It sounded like a promise from a daughter to her father. Jack was touched. He nodded and said, I trust you. My daughter is the best. Fortunately, Little Bean isn't home. She'd get jealous if she saw you are so good to me today." Pudding smiled, but Jack felt hurt inside when he heard the words. Even Pudding herself thought that her family loved Little Bean more than her. "Pudding, your mommy and I love you as much as we love your younger sister." "It doesn't matter. I don't mind that you love my sister more. After all, she's younger than me." There was no jealousy in Pudding's eyes. She seemed to have accepted the truth long ago and wasn't resentful that her parents didn't love her more than her sister. "Pudding, Daddy, I know. You don't have to explain. I'm the big sister, and I'll take good care of my younger sister and our younger brother. I won't think you and Mommy don't love me. In fact, I'm trying to make myself better so I can help you and Mommy with the business in our family. So I'm also one of the most important and indispensable members of this family." "I got it." Jack nodded with complicated feelings inside. "Daddy, you don't have to help me with the issue on the stock market. I can manage it. That woman thinks I'm young and wants to use me to retaliate against you and Mommy. But I won't give her the chance." Pudding had great logical reasoning, and after seeing through her enemies' tricks, she had begun to set traps for them. Jack trusted his daughter's intelligence and wasn't worried about the tricks that Brenny played with the stocks. "Okay, I only have one request for you. Go to bed and don't stay up late." "Don't worry, Daddy. I'll finish in 10 minutes. "Okay. Good night, baby." "Good night, Daddy." Pudding kissed Jack on the cheek. He couldn't find words to express how stunned he was by his daughter. Smart Pudding and cute Little Bean were his most beloved persons in the world, and he'd be proud of them forever. After Case went to Singapore, Zuri hadn't heard from him for 1 week. He didn't call her or contact her through Snap. But from her good friend in Singapore, she knew Case was still there handling the tricky problem. 3 days later, when Zuri was trying high heels in a luxurious brand shop, her cell phone rang. "Zuri." The familiar voice brought complicated feelings into her and she felt like crying, but she forced her tears back. "Case." "Zuri, I'm back. Do you have time to see me?" "Now?" Zuri was surprised. "Yeah, now. I just got off the plane. I want to see you very much." "Okay, we can meet at—" Zuri was about to say the name of a coffee house, but Case interrupted. "Where are you now? I'll go find you." I'm in the DR luxurious brand shop." Zuri glanced at the shop's logo and said the name in a daze. 30 minutes later, a black Bentley Continental stopped at the gate. Case got out of the car and walked in. Dressed in a pale blue windbreaker, his face was unshaved and looked haggard. He must have been exhausted when he was in Singapore. Zuri had understood from her good friend how tough the problem was. "Case." Zuri had finished selecting shoes and was waiting for him sitting on the sofa and sipping red tea. Instead of talking to Zuri, Case turned his head and said to the saleswoman, "Please pack the shoes my friend selected. I'll pay with credit card." "Okay, sir." The saleswoman was used to seeing guys pay bills to make their girlfriends happy, but Zuri was a bit surprised and alarmed. She stood up immediately and stared at Case, who looked fatigued from his trip back from abroad. "Case, what are you doing?" "I told you I'd make it up to you, right?" That said, Case walked to the cashier and, under the saleswoman's envious eyes, paid $120,000 for 4 pairs of shoes for Zuri. He took out 1 pair of the new shoes and walked to Zuri's side. "Sit down." "Huh?" "Sit down." Case placed a hand on her shoulder and made her sit down. In a daze, she watched as he knelt on one knee and picked up her foot carefully to put the new shoe on it. He helped her put on the shoes. Yes, Case was helping Zuri put on shoes. It was the most explosive news in the city, because only a few years ago when they were married, people were speculating that Case didn't love Zuri. At the wedding, Case had looked cold with obvious displeasure, but only a few years passed, and Case knelt on one knee and helped Zuri put on shoes. Zuri looked stunned too, overwhelmed by happiness. "The shoes are beautiful. You have good taste. They suit you. Stand up and walk in them." Case said the words so tenderly that Zuri almost thought she was in a dream. This scene was caught by paparazzi. Half an hour later, the front-page news of the major websites was, "Heir of Chase family suspected back together with ex." Then their Weibo pages were flooded with messages, and their story was the most searched hashtags for 5 hours. The first three most searched hashtags were Zuri, hot, Case, hot. Case and Zuri suspected to reunite, hot. These hashtags showed how interested the netizens were in their affairs. But other than their fans, some passersby had very intriguing comments. Some tabloid magazines chose some of the comments and put them in their news article. They were quite inspiring. One went like this: "Whoa, they indeed get back together. I knew they were a perfect match when they married. After all, they have similar family backgrounds and grew up together. How can Brenny, that seductive batch, be her match?" Another comment went like this: "Heh, the cheating man is like a banknote stained with poop. It's a pity to throw it away, but it's disgusting to keep it. I'm surprised that Zuri is such a woman without principles. If I were her, I'd never forgive him. With her family background, she could get any handsome movie star or model. I truly don't know what she sees in Chase." Another went like this: "I heard the Chase family was tight on funds, and Mr. Chase Jr. asked around to borrow money. The problem was solved so soon? Did he ask help from the Blake family? Haha. He's a scheming guy. Miss Blake must be careful." Another comment went like this: "I wonder how furious Brenton is right now. Haha." Case and Zuri left the shoe shop and went into the nearby tea house, ignoring all the gossip and rumors that went viral on the internet. "Zuri, I have to apologize to you. I stood you up that day and made you sad." Case was sincerely sorry. After getting off the plane, he didn't go home or to the company. He came directly to Zuri because his priority was apologizing to her. "It's fine. I know you had no choice." Zuri had been displeased, but when she saw Case, she got soft-hearted again. Besides, he did it for a reason. "This time, Tiani got into big trouble. I stayed there for as long as 12 days. It was obvious that Case was exhausted both physically and mentally." "How is the result? What's the punishment?" Zuri was concerned about the case. She had heard from her friend that if Tiani was convicted in Singapore, she'd not only be expelled from the school and pay compensation, but be driven out of Singapore and not be allowed to return. Despite her young age, she had viciously hurt people, which was a severe case. Thanks for tuning in to the Cool Audio Podcast. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow story lover. Until next time, stay cool and keep listening.